The floor to the Assembly des Armenians d'Arménie Occidentale.
Արգանդներս դիգին նախագահ, թող արամազդը լուսավորե ձեր ճանապարհը. Permettez-moi, Madame la Présidente.
Madam Chair, if I may extend to you my heartfelt congratulations. Since the most ancient of times, the history of the memory of humanity, namely the preservation of data and their disaggregation, has been an existential need, fundamental need to pass on knowledge and know-how to following generations, which is why the Armenians of Western Armenia have inscribed in the marble of humanity an alphabet whose every letter of whom has got a numerical equivalent. In 405, it was established by the theologian and hymnologist Hishot Mashtot from the Armenian character that was found on the territory of Western Armenia by a Syrian bishop called Daniel. Armenians appreciate appreciate their alphabet. It is a cultural miracle. But the most remarkable thing about the alphabet is its link with the periodic table published by the Dmitry Mendeleev in 1869. In other words, the sum of the indices of the alphabetical whose previous name of an element is the equivalent of the atomic number of this element, despite the fact this applies to this known element when it was invented, when the Armenian alphabet was invented. These are key elements such as gold, copper, silver, tin, mercury. If I take an Armenian, the speaker is establishing equivalence between the periodic table and the Armenian alphabet, the details of which are impossible to gather by the interpreters. It's very unlikely that the person who established this system did not know about these elements. We still don't know what rules Mashtots used in devising the current alphabet. Whether it's a coincidence or a miracle, Mashtots had a certain rationale in his mind, but the result is surprising. Indeed, Western Armenia is part of the first state in the world, even though it is not recognized by the United Nations, even if all of its territory is occupied by Turkey and its indigenous populations which survived in 1895 genocide to date cannot be heard within the Human Rights Council today. This is a demonstration and evidence of the possible disaggregation of data for the memory of humanity if the descendants of the survivors of the Armenian genocide had not found the energy to reconstitute their linguistic heritage. This intervention falls under Article 13 of the Declaration. Thank you very much.